Alright, and welcome back to Hearthstone Arena play. This is trip 2 to the arena. We're going to actually start from the beginning, including deck construction, so this should be interesting. We'll get a couple games in this session, and then probably pick it up at a later point in time. So we've got our first choices, Paladin, Warrior, or Druid. I'm a little familiar with the Warrior and Druid, not so much with the Paladin, so what the hell? We're gonna go a little whimsy tonight, see of what comes up. Now, in case you aren't familiar with the way that arena decks are constructed in this, you're presented with 3 cards, which then you select one card you want to keep, the other 2 are discarded, and you go through that 30 times until you build your deck. So without a lot of foresight, you have to make the right decisions about what cards are the most valuable. Along here in the bottom we have mana curve, so you can kind of see how that's shaping up, and you'll see the arena deck fill up over here. So, not being real familiar with the Paladin, I believe that it's going to be largely based on like buffing existing units. I don't know how many spells are really going to happen. So Violet Teacher seems a little worthless. I can't get behind the Murloc concept right away, so we're going to take Blessed Champion, double a minion's attack. Oh, yeah, definitely lots of bonus attack here. Elven Archer's kind of cool. It combos with some other stuff, but I don't know if that's going to be possible, so we're going to leave that alone. I love card draw in this game a lot, so I'm going to take the 3 direct damage and draw a card from Hammer of Wrath over Blessing of Might, which is just deal 3 damage. Granted, it's a lot cheaper. Abusive Sergeant is, its battle cry is not conducive to its mana cost. Ascension's Shieldmaster is a reasonably good taunt, probably on the upper half of things. By the way, I should say that I am by no means an expert in this. So anything you want to, any sort of constructive criticism you want to put in chat or in YouTube comments later on, this is a crash course in me learning this game. I am fairly familiar with board games. I played a couple of collectible card games, a couple of living card games, so it's not a new concept to me, but I am very much so in the infantile stage with this particular game. I think we're going to take Ascension's Shieldmaster. It is... I don't know, just all around a pretty good card, and taunt is a helpful thing to have. Oh, really like this weapon, really like it a lot. It's going to come down to what his other things are. Let's see here. Secret, when your opponent plays a minion, reduce its health to 1. Okay. When one of your minions dies, return it to life with 1 health. Yeah, definitely going with True Silver Champion. Definitely more expensive cards. We're going to need some cheaper ones. Reckless Rocketeer is 6 mana for 5 damage because it is not likely to live a second round. Not the greatest in the world. Humility is kind of an interesting card that can really destroy a really buffed creature, but that also relies on there being a buffed creature, or other choices. Elven Archer, deal 1 damage. I love Elven Archer as an early game play for board control, so we're going to take that. Maybe we can find a way to combo it in somewhere else. When you're eye for an eye, when your hero takes damage, deal that much damage to the enemy hero. That's good, but I'm not a big fan of relying on something like that either. Voodoo Doctor, reasonable for 1 mana. I like Oasis Snapshot just because of its staying power, so we're going to pick that up instead. Light's Justice is an okay weapon. 1 attack, and it has 4 durability, so it'll hang around a little while. But only having 1 damage, and you're almost always taking damage when you're using a weapon, so I like killing things in 1 hit. However, River Crocolisk is a really good 2 mana card. However, Gurubashi Berserker here combos really well with Elven Archer, so we're actually going to take that instead in this case. Definitely on the heavier side of things right now. Need some lighter cards. Aldor Peacekeeper, Battlecry, changing an enemy's minion attack to 1, 3 mana for 3/3, not terrible. Twilight Drake, gain 1 health for every card in your hand. That's not so great. Defender of Argus, 3/3 for 4 mana. Give adjacent minions +1/+1 and taunt. I like that, but in this case, I think we're going to go with the utility 3 mana Aldor Peacekeeper. 4 mana for Divine Shield, Hand of Protection. Give a minion Divine Shield. That gives you some options. Or a 1/4 taunt, which is quite honestly not particularly good for 3 mana. I think, oh geez, I need some cheaper cards, so I think we'll go with Divine Shield. That could help keep up a pretty potent creature later on. Stampeding Coda, destroy a random minion, destroy a random enemy minion with 2 attack or less. 5 mana for 3/5. It's kind of nice for board control, I guess. Give adjacent minions spell damage +1. I have no idea. I'll be quite honest. I have no idea how much spell damage is going to really be helpful to the Paladin, so I'm going to kind of ignore that as an option. Change the health of all minions to 1 with equality. Boy, I really wish I knew the Paladin cards better. I'd love to know if there is a deal 1 damage to all enemy minions or something like that, because that might combo well. It certainly makes things easier to deal with. We're going to take equality for the sake of board control, plus it's cheaper cost. Repentance. When your opponent plays a minion, reduce its health to 1. Oh, we saw that one already. One of your minions dies, return it to life with 1 health. Going with Ascension Shield Master again, just for pure core gameplay. That's a solid card. Well, here's an Enrage card that again would combo well with Elven Archer, especially if we can pull a second one. Gets +3 attack whenever it's damaged, but it also needs to live, so yeah. That has some nice, Enrage has some nice psychological benefits too. Guardian of Kings, 5/6, restore 6 health to your hero when it's dropped. Boy, I don't know. I think in nature of trying to get some cheaper cards, we're going to go with the Amani Berserker. Mad Bomber deal 3 damage randomly split between all characters. I will be flat out honest. Things that say random automatically drop down a little bit in my book. Although 2 mana for a 3/2 creature is not bad, and if you play it at the right time, you could theoretically improve your chances of it hitting enemies and not just your guys. But again, that's, I don't know. I don't know about that one. Whenever a minion dies, gain +1 attack, Flesh Eating Ghoul. Yeah. And then another Hand of Protection, give a minion Divine Shield. I think we're going to actually take that again for utility purposes. Azure Drake. We are 13 cards in. Azure Drake, spell damage +1, Battlecry, draw a card. 5 for 4/4. Again, not knowing how worthwhile spell damage is. That Battlecry of drawing a card, I feel like there might be another way to get at that. It seems awfully expensive for 4/4 with effectively no other use. Although it is a free card in terms of card drawing. Again, avoiding the Murloc stuff, and then destroy a random enemy minion with 2 or less attack. Boy, in this case, I think I got to go with Azure Drake. I'm not a huge fan of that pick, but what can you do? Here's another card drawing possibility, but it's 4 mana. Again, Mad Bomber, not a big fan of random number gener, but True Silver Champion, such a good weapon. A second copy of that would be fantastic. By the way, I don't think I said it before, but that deals 4 damage. You can do that twice, and it restores 2 health to your hero when you do it. So it helps. Tremendous weapon in terms of gaining board control. Then let's see here. Taunt. 3/3 taunt costs 1 less per attack of your weapon. So given a point in time where True Silver Champion is out there, that becomes free, actually. But even still with that, it's hard to pass up on this give a minion 3 attack, but I could really use some more minions early on, so we're going to go with Acidic Swamp Ooze, which is a solid card even if I don't get the Battle Cry of destroying an enemy's weapon. Argent Protector, give a friendly minion Divine Shield, or Loot Hoarder, draw a card. Again, avoiding Mad Bomber. I think Argent Protector is probably a little bit more versatile, although Loot Hoarder, it's, again, essentially a free card. You might get some damage out of it, but you get to draw a card for 2 mana, essentially. And it distracts a little bit. I think I like Argent Protector in this case a little bit better, though. Holy Light, restore 6 health. 1/1 for each, gain 1/1 for each other friendly minion on the battlefield. I don't know how I feel about that, because I don't know how many of mine are really going to stick around. The ability to hang around longer is awfully attractive, but I think we're going to go with Argent Protector again. I don't know. I'm probably making horrible decisions. Change a minion's attack to 1 when your opponent plays a minion. I'm going to go with Elven Archer again, just to double up on that combo that I had before. And maybe another Equality, because again, that works out pretty well. Emperor Cobra is kind of neat. Destroy any enemy, or any minion damaged by this enemy. Or Holy Wrath, draw a card and deal damage equals to its cost. Not a big fan of the random thing. If there was something that allowed me to look at the top of my deck, then maybe. I have 1 Equality right now. I don't want to base my deck on that, though. That's kind of an oh shit kind of card for board control. Destroy any minion damaged by this minion. That could be really interesting, but I don't know if that's going to be particularly good past, you know, 1 enemy because of its health. Boy, have to make some difficult decisions. We're going to take that. I think we'll probably making major mistakes here, but what can you do? We'll figure it out. Choose a minion. Whenever it attacks, draw a card. I like that. I like that a lot. Spell damage +1, meh. And battle cry, gain attack equal to the attack of your weapon. Well, if that comes out when I have True Silver Champion available, then that becomes a 6/3 creature for 2 mana, which is awfully powerful, but I think I really like the card draw in this case. Yeah, we're going to go with that. Azure Drake, spell damage, draw a card. Charge Battlecry, give an opponent a mana crystal. Yeah, that's not going to happen. And whenever a secret is played, gain +1/+1. I'm not a big fan of any of these. I think I got to go with the Azure Drake again. I don't know how I feel about that. Ancient Brewmaster is basically a way to replay battle cries that you might have. I guess what really matters is what sort of battle cries do we have. There's some meaningful ones in the early part there that could be comboed with, you know, late game. Assuming those things are actually alive. I think in this case, and still 4 mana for a 5/4 creature, that's pretty good. So, yeah, we're going to go with that. 1/1 Wind Fury is largely useless unless you have it in your starting hand. Whenever a minion dies, gain +1 attack. Battlecry, restore 3 health. You know what, I like the Earthen Ring Farseer in this case. Restoring health might be something that's worthwhile. So here's an opportunity to get a powerful creature at the cost of making your minions cost more. I don't have a lot of later game cards right now, so I think I'm going to go with that. Venture Company Mercenary. Ironforge Rifleman. Battlecry, deal 1 damage. Might work well with Equality. I think I had, yeah. Change. Oh, no, that's attack to 1. Excuse me. So right now that would combo really well with 1. God, in comparison to Elven Archer, though, the ratio of that is just not very good. Chillwind Yeti's solid. Taunt, Enrage, +3 attack on Tauren Warrior. Again, I suppose we have the Enrage, right? Yeah, we have an Enrage already. This is a Taunt. I think we're still going to go with the Chillwind Yeti in that case, though. Just more solid all the time. Battlecry, silence a minion. That could be super useful. Again, Holy Light could be useful. Boy. I think I'm going to go with the Spellbreaker in this case. 2/2 Taunted might as well be nothing. And there's a lot better cards power-wise than that. 2/1 Charge. Or another Venture Company Mercenary. I think I'll do that, because getting that on a turn 5 play, or turn 4 if you have the coin, that's pretty potent. You know, a little sip of my beverage here. We'll finish off our last couple cards. Spiteful Smith could combo pretty well. 5 for 4/6 isn't terrible. 4 for a 3/3 Divine Shield, Silver Moon Guardian. Boy, that's a tough call. I think we'll go with Spiteful Smith. 6 mana for 4/5 Taunt Divine Shield. That's actually a pretty slick card. But 7 for 7/5 Stealth means that you're, unless he's got some sort of board clearing card, that's going to be pretty potent. And then Secret Keeper is worthless, considering that I don't have any secrets in my deck. So the real question is between these two: staying power with Taunt or big damage that's almost guaranteed. You know, we don't have any like big damage cards, so we're going to go with that, and that's going to be our deck. Playing Paladin for the first time. I guess we'll see how this goes. I bought it with funny money, I bought in with funny money, so if this goes 0-3, then that'll be pretty bad, but what can you say? It's second trip to the arena. This deck might be absolute garbage, but I guess we'll see what happens. And I'm thinking, judging by the time, I'll probably fit in maybe 2 games today. And then we'll have to pick this up after the weekend, because this weekend is Extra Life, which is absolutely fantastic fundraiser. If you have not heard of this, check out extra-life.org. It's an awesome thing that's going to help lots of children nationwide. Any child that visits Children's Miracle Network Hospital has a chance of this money making a difference in their lives. Very cool thing. Last year generated $2.3 million. So very cool fundraiser where we get to play games for 25 hours this year. But I'm not going to have online connectivity, so I can't play anything like this. But it should be an awesome time. These cards are just way too expensive off the bat. Hand of Protection is not particularly good for a starting card. You know what? I'm going to recycle them all. And hopefully we'll get some lower mana stuff that we can play early on. A 5/2 and a 5. The 2 is pretty worthless by itself. So I guess we'll see what happens. Elven Archer is a reasonable turn 1 play. Combos well with other stuff, but I feel like I want to get something out there. And who knows, maybe we can drop a Argent Protector on the next turn and, you know, maybe potentially kill a cheapo creature that he's got. In this case, I don't think I'm going to do that. In fact, I'm just going to bring out a Silverhand Recruit, attack for another damage, and move on. He's probably building up to crazy powerful stuff, and I guess we'll see what happens. But he's got 3 mana to spend this turn because of that coin. Whenever a minion takes damage, gain +1 attack. That is a frustrating card. Choose a minion whenever attacks, draw a card. Let's see here. How do I want to handle this? This is not particularly a great situation to be in. I suppose we can reduce his damage by 1, or yes, hello. Choose a minion whenever attacks, draw a card. I get the feeling like he's going to be attacking with that minion a lot, whereas I'm not going to be attacking with mine, so maybe we will allow him to make some card draws for me. And then I think we're going to summon... Boy, I don't know. I guess we'll do this. Give our Elven Knight Divine Shield just to help that out, and hopefully that means I can deal with him. I did not realize that that was going to... I thought this was every other minion, not any minion, which is unfortunate. I would have tried to go for a single hit there, but awesome. That's spectacular. Not such a good thing, but at least I'm going to get a card out of this. I should be able to kill him next turn. Question is how do I want to do it? Well, I think we play our card, our weapon. We're going to take 6 damage on the chin here, but I'll get actually 2 life back from that. which is going to leave him with a lot of damage, but you know, I think I'm okay with recycling a couple of peons to get rid of that fool. And maybe not the best play on the draw card, but he did allow me to draw that card that dealt with him. I have 2 Venture Company Mercenaries in my deck, which is not fantastic because of how it costs me more stuff. But they are beefy creatures that I can get out early, so that's probably good enough. Yeah, he's going to wipe out my Argent Protector with that. That's totally fine. And in this case, I think we'll drop our Venture Company Mercenary, and then we'll use this opportunity to... I don't want to give him the opportunity to buff that up, so we're going to clear the board with our board clearing weapon here, which we picked up another copy of, and not take any damage in the process because of the armor granted by it when used. But yeah, I kind of like my position right now, but who knows? There's some things that the warrior can do that would handle this pretty handily. So, nice part is I can drop a Divine Shield on it the next turn and bring out my weapon, not needing me to have... no, he's going to do it that way. Alright, that's fine. I've got another one for him, this time with the Divine Shield. He had to spend some stuff to get rid of that. Hey, and look at that, I got another Divine Shield in my hand, so this is going to look pretty familiar from last game, or last turn, but in this case, he's safe for 1 hit. Thankfully, the warrior's hero power does not, it's not something like the mage where he can just do 1 quick damage to it or something like that to get rid of that Divine Shield. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. Silence. Okay, well, at least he's still 7-6. The ironic part of that, about that is he also got rid of the problem with him, so I don't actually mind that so much. I could Divine Shield him again. I can bust out my weapon and take... I think we're going to actually do that. Yeah, so we're going to bust out the weapon, do a little board control, make him handle the 7-6 again, hopefully having to spend some stuff, bust out a Silverhand Recruit, because we have mana left over, and hit him for 7. It's going to put him in kind of a difficult place, but I don't know that it's necessarily enough to really make the difference. If he comes out with something that's Taunt, I can silence that and hit him again. And that's a really nice card in this sort of situation. So now I got to do 14 damage to deal with him. Potentially 16 if he chooses to armor up again. And that was a pretty expensive way to go about dealing with that. But I'm eerily okay with that. Let's see here. 8, 12. He's got 14. Anything worth silencing at this point? No, both of those are battle cries, so silence isn't going to do me any good here. I could play the 5. Draw a card and see what I get next. Okay, so that's a card that could win this for us. What we really need to do now is, I think, manage the board. So we're going to get rid of this guy. Get rid of this guy. And then attack him for another 7. Bring out another Silverhand Recruit. Again, I kind of like the position I'm in, but I'm not super familiar with warrior cards, so I don't know if he's got some sort of board clearing card that would make this less threatening to him. I did like how expensive it was for him to deal with my Venture Company Mercenary, though. So I'm hoping he plays a taunt creature here, just a single one, thinking that that's going to be what... Okay, he's going to concede. I did have an answer if he did bring out a taunt creature. I could have brought out the Spellbreaker to silence that and then hit him for the finisher, so good on him. Alright. Unlock that awesome weapon for using my play deck. Like I said, this is the first time I've played with a Paladin. Oh, and I didn't even realize it's one of the daily quests, so that works out well. Going into the second game of our second trip to the arena, 1-0. Let's see what we got next. You know, I like, you know, after the first time you play a deck, you always got to take a little quick barometer of it, but it's a dangerous thing to do because, you know, sometimes, you know, just the draw was either really good or really bad, but overall, you know, I saw about half the deck, maybe. No, not quite half the deck, but, you know, I kind of like how it flowed, but I did have, you know, some of my really good cards in there, too, like the really tight weapons and stuff like that. So I'm going to 3, 4, and 5, and I'm going first, so that means the best I can do is cast them 3, 4, and 5. I think we're going to dump the 4 and 5, hold on to Aldor Peacekeeper, because that might be worthwhile early on. And we swapped a 4 and a 5 for a 4 and a 7. I don't really mind having that assassin, but this is kind of worthless early on. Let's see what happens as a result. I didn't even pay attention. Oh, I'm playing against another druid. Okay. This isn't the same druid, is it? Did I play? No, I played a warrior last time. What am I talking about? Okay, so he brought out a 3/2 panther, which is not particularly dangerous to me. Elven Archer I'm going to hold on to for a little bit. Yeah. We'll just bring out a 1/1. Besides, I could bring out Earthen Ring Farseer on the next turn, restore the 3 damage that he's likely going to do to me here. He's probably going to kill off my Silverhand Recruit that way. Yep, makes sense. And attack me straight for 3. Which means I can bring out this 3/3 and be exactly where I was before. Which I'm definitely going to do. So... if it weren't his turn, I would say that I'm sitting pretty well, but he has the opportunity, obviously, to interact with any of this stuff before I do, so I have to be a little curious as to what's coming next. Okay, 3/3 taunt. That's a little annoying. Not terribly annoying, but that's just because I have the True Silver Champion. You can totally trade those cards. I am okay with that. Now, there should be a point in time, unless he's got something else up his sleeve, there should be a point in time where I get to... Oh, you know what? We're just going to straight up hammer a Wrath at, because it doesn't get much more 1/1 for that. Plus, I get another card out of it. So we're sustaining at the early part of this game pretty well. I don't know how long that'll stick around, but True Silver Champion might have been a better play there. Now that I think about it, because it would have had 1 use left over on it. So he dealt 2 damage to me and silence. That's not really threatening to me, but... Okay, what do we do here? I think we do deal with board control. Yep, I'm going to do that. Perhaps the play I should have made on the last turn, because then I would have had this around, and I could have been doing something else this turn. 20/20 hindsight. I don't know if it's worth holding on to this Elven Archer, but man, do I want to make that combo work. And that, let's face it, he can squash that really quick, and yeah, I think it might have more use later on. We'll see what happens. He can always do this, obviously, so I don't understand quite why he's not bringing out more stuff. Either he has enormous stuff in his hand, which is scary. Less scary now, because that combos pretty well. But, I mean, maybe he has enormous stuff in his hand, or maybe he's just waiting for targets. So, I guess we'll give him a couple. And, in this case, I'm okay with attacking him straight out for 4, because I have another one in my hand. And it restores 2 health, too, so... At no damage to my hero. So that's about the best use, I guess, I could get out of that. I don't know if it'll continue to be the case, but... Okay, so we got a 5/4 taunt that we got to deal with. I guess... You know what? I'm okay with playing it this way, because... We're going to change that 5 damage to 1 damage. And then suddenly, he's not so scary anymore. That'll also allow us to bring out Another copy of our pen. Yeah, I think that's what we want to do. And then, yeah, we're just going to straight up take him out that way. Deal 3 damage. Good board control, plus I made sure that he only did 1 damage back to me, which actually is a positive in my favor because of how this restores 2 health. So, yeah, that was pretty solid in my mind. 2 damage to the enemy hero on Death Rattle. Deal 4 damage to an enemy and 1 damage to all others. Oh, alright. That's a pretty good board clearing card that he had there. Where's he going with this one? He's going to attack me directly. That's totally fine. Let's see here. Weapon has +2 attack. If I could drop that and hit him for a nasty amount of damage. Yeah, I think I will do that. I'm not sure. It might be better served against a... Oh, that's an enrage. Okay, well. That's not what I thought it was. So, I guess... Let me think. Yeah, I guess we'll do it this way. So... We'll deal 1 damage to that. Making this a 6. Attack him directly for 6. That's pretty potent. Now that this dude is... Oh, I don't even have another weapon in my deck. That doesn't do him any good. And I think we'll just hit him for the 2 damage. That's going to hit me back. I'll summon another Silverhand Recruit. He probably has some way to deal with all of these things. I don't like being so heavy out on the board, but I don't want to overextend myself, I guess is what I'm getting at. What was that? Taunt, Death Rattle. Deal 2 damage to all characters. Okay, that's kind of rude. We can help that out, though. We can make 2 of our guys live, which might be worth it. Yeah, that totally might be worth it. Although it would be really nice to plop a that on the stealth creature, too. Oh boy, now we have all sorts of options. So he's got 5. Oh, I can easily waste a Silverhand Recruit on him. Bust another one of these guys. Let me think. Or, here's an interesting play. Let's change the health of all minions to 1. Admit that we're going to eat it here, but he too is going to eat it. I'll give it a shot. And I've got 7 mana left over to bring out the big Betty, who can't be targeted until he attacks. Can't be targeted by spells or attacked. So that's pretty potent. Now, if he has like a board clearing card, he could do something that way, but I also have 3 cards in my hand that give Divine Shield, so I can make that guy pretty hard to deal with. I hope you have a better answer than just that, buddy. Okay, well, I think we hold on to as many of these cards as we can, so we'll do, well, let's attack first. I don't know if those things stack, but I think they do. So now he's got Divine Shield, and we'll summon a Silverhand Recruit, and end our turn. Things are not looking particularly good for him, but I hate counting my chickens before they're hatched. I do have an answer, and that's Spellbreaker if he decides to throw something out. If he can hit this for a single damage. Okay, so that's gonna wipe out the thing. Can he kill it? Yep. Okay. Pretty expensive cost to get rid of it, but I'm okay with that, I guess. So I think we'll plop our draw a card. And in this case, probably this, and then another Silverhand Recruit. And then end our turn. Forces him to deal with this in some way. Kind of half expecting like a super huge taunt guy, but I can always wipe that out with Spellbreaker. I don't have enough damage on the board to kill him, though. And I do have some Divine Shield potential. Maybe I should have plopped one of those out. I certainly had another man. Charge or taunt? He's going to choose charge. That's an interesting decision. Okay, it's not an interesting decision at all. He's going to clear the board. That's a little annoying. So I guess, in this case... Yeah, maybe I should have Divine Shielded. That might have been a smarter play to force him to deal with that. But, do we clear our hand? 4, 6, 8, 9? I don't know if I like that, but that puts 2 Divine Shielded creatures on the board. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to do here. Yeah, what the hell? Go for broke. This is probably terrible play, but we'll see what happens. Silence a minion. Sure, you can be silenced. Kind of a waste, but... There. Boy, I like how many, wide damaging cards that he's played, but only halfway into our decks, I cannot imagine that those are the only ones that he has. And something that hits everything on the board will clear both those Divine Shields. So I don't know. He has a tremendous card advantage over me. I have a slight life lead over him, but at this stage in the game, you can do a lot of damage in a quick amount of time, and I'm not getting the cards to make that possible. I liked my chances a lot more before he made that really good play on that 7/5 stealth guy that I had. Taunt and +2/+2. So he's a 6/4 now. Which is good enough to make that difficult to deal with. But if he doesn't get rid of my Divine Shield, it's not going to cost me anything. He's got to have a way to do it, though, I have to imagine. Eight mana and 4 cards. You got to have something good. Okay, so 4 attacks. So he's going to come gunning for me on this turn. 2 mana crystals this turn. He's going to burn like everything, I think. Oh, man. He's going to take me down to 5 damage. Or 5 life, excuse me. Well played. I'll give you a well played on that one. But the truth is, you're still going to have to deal with my shit. So, the question is, I don't have any way to heal, so might as well go for broke. You got to clear out my stuff if you don't have... I don't know. I mean, if he's got direct damage that he can hit me with. Why didn't you... Yeah, oh. I thought he targeted my... my guy up here. I was really confused by that. Really... I got bested in the end game there where I didn't have the legs to lead on, and he definitely had some really smart plays there. So good on him. With that, we're going to leave the night 1-1 in the arena on our second trip. So come join us next time. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. I'd really like to get these things out to more people, but I need your help to do that. So if you're watching it on Twitch, subscribe there. If you're watching it on YouTube after the fact, then definitely like and subscribe, share, do as much as you can. I'll put out as many of these videos as people want to keep seeing. So thanks for tuning in, and we will see you next time.